Well, Pete, would you say the Bowling Green win was maybe your most complete win of the year? And if so, how do you think you finally got to that point?
Well, I think you could argue it was because we weren't in the 2-minute drill and late in the fourth quarter, like it feels like we've been in for so many of these games. And we got off to a good start offensively, which was great. The defense certainly played 60 minutes from start to finish and was extremely effective, making BG one-dimensional. We did some good things on special teams. We had a couple letdowns on special teams as well, but it was a good effort against a very physical Bowling Green team, and a long road trip certainly made for a nice bus ride home.
Was part of the emphasis of getting your team to kind of finish, right, when you get that early advantage, to not let up and let other teams get back into games, which has happened a few times?
No doubt about it, and we had a real heart-to-heart in there at halftime. I got a little fired up, but they were in a good mindset to go out there in the second half. And we've got a great group of guys. We've had some incredibly dramatic games this year. Thankfully, we've won some close games. We've had some tough losses in close games. But one thing that's been consistent, even though we haven't always played consistent, is that we have a great bunch of guys, and they are all in, and I think they're in a good mindset right now. They're excited to be playing meaningful games in November, and they know we got a huge challenge here going on the road to Central Michigan.
Your defense up to statistically third in the MAC now, but it feels like they've found another level. What has gotten them to that point, and where can they continue to go to maybe be dominant for the rest of November?
Well, what will help is if we can move the ball better on offense and stay on the field more on offense, so that we can keep those play counts a little bit more modest for our defense. And that's been something that's been a challenge. It was nice to build an early lead and to play the game with that kind of mindset in all three phases, to be honest. But we're capable on defense. And even prior to the Bowling Green game, you saw flashes, you saw quarters, you saw halves where at times we played dominant defense, and then there have been some letdowns. So hopefully just the fact that we were able to prove that we could play 60 minutes, that doesn't mean that it's going to happen every week and that teams aren't going to make plays against you, because that's football. But there's definitely a resolve there, and we're fairly healthy. We've been doing a decent job of rotating guys into the game. So hopefully all those things help.
Talking with Bulls head coach Pete Lembo as we get you ready for the Bulls and the Central Michigan Chippewas. Central Michigan's had a nice season. They have a new coach in Matt Drinkle, who was the offensive line coach at Army. Do you feel like there's a little bit of the Army approach? They lead the MAC in time of possession. They want to run the ball. They want to limit the other team's possessions. Is that part of the figuring that out for the game plan?
There's no doubt about it. And he was also a head coach earlier in his career before he went to Army, and his teams have always run the ball very effectively. He obviously worked under a great head coach in Jeff Monken at Army, and Army's very, very effective at doing all those things, including playing great special teams, which you see Central Michigan doing some of that as well. So I think this is a team that's definitely bought in to their culture, bought into their style of play. And even going back to my first time in the MAC, I've always felt like Central Michigan has had some very, very physical, hard-playing football teams.
Finally, learning with Lembo time is I learned, and I think maybe you have too, this is going to be your 200th game as a head coach, which is a heck of an achievement in your profession. But reflect a little bit on what that number means and maybe what that journey to 200's been like.
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey. Exactly half of my years in coaching have been as a head coach now. And I don't know if people understand how hard this profession is. In my 20s, from being a grad assistant to being what they used to call a restricted earnings coach, which meant which meant work 80, 90 hours a week, but get paid part-time. Just trying to get health benefits with a job in my late 20s, starting off as a full-time Division III coach. I went back to not having health benefits my first year at Lehigh, and was just struggling to get by. And then 3 years later, I'm not even 31 years old, and I'm one of the youngest head coaches in the country right there at Lehigh, which is an opportunity that I'll always be grateful for. The Mountain Hawks are having an incredible season, top 5 in the FCS. Coach Cahill and his staff are doing a great job. But Lehigh will always be a special place. Elon is a very special place to us as well. One daughter that graduated from there, another daughter that's there now. Ball State was a special place. And obviously now, what a wonderful opportunity here at UB.
All right, congratulations on the 200. Let's go get a win to celebrate the 200. He is Pete Lembo. Good luck against Central Michigan.
Thanks so much.